This is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course. Let me see. This is the 18th, so I'm still into lessons. Um, been pretty busy here, things to do. So as you know, I already do the monthly lessons. Of course, contact me if you want to do the one-on-one monthly lessons, which I do every month. And I usually would have a theme, but I just see in particular whatever people want to, enhance, deal with at that time, then I can develop that. And then maybe I'll come back with different themes or frequencies. However, understand the monthly one-on-ones are separate from what I do with individuals that I work closely with, in addition to doing work as you want to be layman spell work, and understand the one-on-ones that I do with individuals that I work very closely with them weekly, every day, whatever it is. Understand that's different from monthly lessons, okay? And a different price and a different energy. I work very closely with the individuals that I choose to work with, and understand spell work or work is separate from that frequency. But at times we'll be doing one-on-ones. Then we'll come into, of course, the spell work. But as you already know, art is occultism. Occultism is a motherfucking art. However, Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, and that motherfucking spell work. However, there's so much energies going on in the universal soul. So I'm just going to be, of course, in my Cancer motherfucking month. Because for us Cancers, we don't get one day for our birthday. We get the whole motherfucking month. So you guys have to ingest, digest the frequencies. Okay. I was thinking about the universal soul and some frequencies that I noticed. And just so happened, I went to go to this, what is it called? Circus Olay. And I was sitting there analyzing Circus Olay. I believe you shouldn't do anything in life where you just have a good time. If you having a good time, then you don't know what life is. And what I mean by that is you should always be looking around your surroundings, understanding the frequencies, what people are doing. How does that attach to you? We just want to party and bullshit, and this is not the time to party and bullshit because we're at war. Okay, plain and simple. So we should digest and understand the frequencies that's going on, and the shifting and the movement. So when I peeped the Circus Olay frequency, I said, it's a lot going on here, right? And it made me think about Simone Biles. It made me think about how they create this energy that you have to be front and center and mainstream for every fucking thing. And that is a bunch of demonic ass energy. That's a bunch of people that they put in place to create a witchcraft, bewitchery mentality. I was thinking about Lettucey, and I remember some years back when she was supposed to sing, I forgot whatever song, and they replaced her with Beyonce because they understood if Lettucey would have got up there, that would have pushed her forth. She would have been that person, that singer, right? And so recently, someone was discussing Lettucey to me because I told them, I said, Lettucey can sing. She's a talented woman, and I believe she's from Oakland, California. There's a lot of shit been going in motherfucking Oakland, hasn't it? Anyway, and I always I back up Lettucey like big time. So in this case, I even thought about Lettucey. Here's what I'm saying. When I went to Circus Olay, And I was looking at the acrobats, the dance, the acting, the stage presence, the singing, and all. I said, wait a minute, people, all they have to do is rebrand themselves, re-image themselves. Fuck all this shit they got in front of you. This is an illusion. You can create your own frequency. All those camera people, behind the scenes people, you could create your own energy, your own frequency. Nothing stops you. No, I don't care what the fuck they try to put in place, because you can always go around something. Because the bottom line is that in this entertainment world, we're just looking at the AI, what is behind the camera. We just looking at the poltergeist. We're looking at the spirit of air, the energy of data. We're looking at cyber magic. We're looking at air maritime laws. We're looking at fictitious shit. We're looking at AI frequency, right? But that's just there. But what about live frequencies? This right here, the Circus Olay and other frequencies, even Broadway, that's some real motherfucking shit, and that's some real talent that AI cannot replace. So rather have us out in the universal soul, connecting with people, digesting people, feeling people, they want to fear, they want to fear among you. In a way, they want to bewitch you with fear. Don't go anywhere, you may get shot. Don't do this, don't do that, don't entertain. And the funny thing behind this witchcraft, it is targeted to a certain economic class that they are playing these games. The reason I brought up Simone Biles, because the people that were in Circus Olay were much better than her, and it was entertaining. Lettucey, there was women in that energy singing their ass off. Sometimes we got to reshift ourselves. We have to re-image. You got to look at the time. Certain things are played out on some real shit. So sometimes it's just about restructuring your foundation. Watch and see what's really going on in this universal soul. I was looking at that, what's her name? That Angel Reese chick. And she had on them fucking Daisy Dukes. And I said, why is that tall ass bitch got on them goddamn Daisy Dukes? Is that her girlfriend? Why do they keep putting her and that Caitlin Clark against each other? But it's really an indirect white racism. We not peeping that they're putting Caitlyn as this, oh my gosh, this kind of Jim Crow white tactic. Oh, this poor little white woman among all these big black women, they just knocking this poor little white woman down, and she's a better ball player. It's just a form of indirect backpedaling over supposed to be racism that they're trying to push in this universal soul. And I'm like, where did this come from? I've never seen this before. There's been all type of white players in women's basketball. Why is all this going on? When the fuck did women basketball players start dressing like hoes? I'm just trying to understand. And you know what they saying, in Louisiana, that she's a whole Latina and was messing around allegedly with Shaq. So I was a little thrown off, but I'm just saying, looking at the universal soul, we don't know how to restructure ourselves because we are into the cyber. We are into the, as the crystals, we are into the witchcraft. We are into what they're telling us it is. And that's not the real world. The real world is outside of that. It is live. It is moving. It is frequencies. If you keep in that particular frequency, you won't ever get to see the real world. You will never rebrand yourself, restructure yourself, understand who you are as a person, kind of evaluate energies, right? Okay, let's keep going. So what I'm saying in this energy, as we keep going, I'm just like, what is going on with the universal soul? What is going on with the world? I read some of the comments, and what I'm saying is people be tripping on some dumbass shit. Somebody asked, no, somebody in the comments was trying to teach me how to fucking spell Hermes. I don't give a fuck, or pronounce it. I don't give a fuck. I don't buy shit that I can't pronounce. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about their brand. I don't care if it's Herbert, Hermes, Hermes, whoever, he, she, him, or me. I don't give a fuck. I was trying to tell you motherfuckers that, hey, this brand is named after the father of Pan. And if you don't get that motherfucking shit, no wonder the world is fucked up. Anyway, then somebody asked if I'm gay. Well, no, but just like gay men, I am a dick connoisseur. So yes, I'm going to talk with my fellow dick connoisseurs. Do you got a fucking problem with that? I'm just saying, since you got fucking questions. Somebody looked at one of my old videos and got all in their feelings saying, well, how are you going to talk about people that you don't know? The same reason and same how you talk about motherfuckers you don't know. People be on some dumbass witchcraft shit, always trying to check what the fuck you doing. But don't worry about what the fuck they doing. Anyway, there's been a lot of energies going on in this universal soul. We've been distracted and caught up with Abbott and Costello. Abbott being Trump, Costello being Biden. Hollywood have shifted itself into the real world, okay? And we are sitting up here watching a whole movie, a whole show, and a very bad one, a very horribly acted scenes. All they needed to do is just get the real actors and put them right into office. What is very interesting, can we just kind of start on some shit, right? I just been kind of all over the place. One, this is all a black social experiment. Understand, this has nothing to do with any culture or people but black Americans, black nationalist Americans, not black citizens. But let's go further. I was peeping something from the past, and I was looking at a passport. And I kind of discussed this with some people. I told you I'm all over the place. I'm being water, right? I was looking at a passport, and it said, we the people. We the people means that we are under a federal amendment that was put in place back in the 1700s, where they reshifted America and killed off, replaced, murdered, genocide, neutralized the original melanated people from the European culture, Europe, Netherlands, wherever. They neutralized the people and replaced them in these fake ass Americas, as they renamed America and all this shit, right? We understand the different tribes in Africa really come from different parts of the world of Europe and so on. We understand what the Caribbean islands, who those people are, the original. We get confused with, if you say Igbo, most likely that's West African. No, that's United States, because they kicked them out of America. They were talking about that even during the 1940s, and so how they was trying to reshift and make black people go back to Africa. Does that sound very familiar? How they reverted backwards into pushing us back into Africa, saying that, pushing this whole migration back. Well, that was thought about and pushed around the 1940s into the 1950s, bringing us back. So all they're doing is recycled ass bullshit. I had sent someone some information that popped up, and I found it interesting talking about the HOAs and what those HOAs was really about. Sundown energies. You might as well just call it for what it is, to keep niggas out of neighborhoods, to keep order. So they created these fake ass HOAs. So damn, that's a loophole. That means if you're black and they trying to fuck with you, then in that case, then you should file a federal lawsuit against them, because the origins and the original frequencies of HOAs was to keep your black ass up out of there. I'm not going to incorporate no Mexicans and shit, because you wasn't even thought about back then. It was black people. They did not want them in the neighborhoods, and that was the origins that started back during the 20th century, especially keep a little further, even around the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, especially the 1950s, when they really started to do the black social experiment and to look at the monies and wealth, of course, of black Americans, and then create a classicism. The funny thing is that we didn't give a fuck about that, because our ancestors made a way out of no way and created their own neighborhoods, their own businesses, their own entrepreneurship, and networked and moved money around their fucking communities. Okay, but I'm going to get to that shit in a minute. So we kind of have to understand, what's going on in this universal soul. So when I seen We the People, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the world then? Because then it made me think about them. Everything is surrounded around black people. We are not citizens of this United States. We are nationalists. This is our national frequencies. We are not third world energies. We are not migrants. We are not immigrants. Okay, and it doesn't matter what they're trying to tell us we are. We're not that, and we got that bad because we have been conditioned to believe what the fuck they're pushing out to us. And the funny thing is, again, everything is always surrounding us. When we go to the Pledge of Allegiance, and I keep talking about the Pledge of Allegiance, I said the Pledge of Allegiance is very important to understand. I said they started to alter and edit the different frequencies that it was pushing out, of course, to America, right? And the bottom line is that once you remove, of course, the one nation under God, that really changed the frequency. But if you really notice, it was a lot of white energy, especially white millennial energy, that was pushing the change of the Pledge of Allegiance. But in reality, it changed the fabric and the scope of America to actually comfort the new energies that they've been trying to push in, which is this third world energy, which is these immigrants coming in, which is these Chinese and so on, LLCs, and all this European frequency coming in, buying up land and property. So you change the scope of America and the blood of America, which incorporates, of course, our ancestors who fought, killed, murdered, buried, and more under this country. So funny enough, that wording changes the scope and it pulls in and comforts all these new frequencies, right? The other energies that pushed us out of nationalism or black nationalism was when we went for that fucking Colin Kaepernick as bullshit, that whole ritual that went on with the national anthem and getting on one knee. But they didn't tell you when you get on one knee, you're bowing down to white daddy. If you go back and you start to look at the different histories and you start to look at especially stuff in the colonial era, and you seeing how the supposed slaves was on their knees on one knee holding the hand of Abe Lincoln and holding the hand of their oppressor, especially during the antebellum period, you will start to feel like a motherfucking damn fool, because then you understand that football is a form of ranch slavery behavior. So everything is a ritual that we're pushing out into the universal soul. So this whole election is basically built on Black social experiment behavior, the mental, the psych, and the economic frequency, right? um and the game is to keep pushing these infiltrators, and that's these third world motherfuckers coming in. There's a whole bunch of confusion going on, right? Because it's like they went and removed these people from their element, from their countries, and then replaced their countries with Asians. You go to Brazil, it's Asians. You go to of course, South America and some parts of Central America is Asians. There's a whole bunch of Asians up in fucking Colombia. We're not going to even talk about the fucking Caribbean islands. And we're not going to talk about Germany. We're not going to talk about Ireland. We for sure not going to talk about the UK. They are every motherfucking where, which is changing the tone and the dynamic and the culture of what those particular countries are supposed to be, and the feeling and the food. Just like what is it, that the Guyanese energy, then what the fuck are you? Oh, the Indians and the Asians drowned out the original culture. Understand, we never get the true frequencies of these motherfucking cultures, because two other cultures that already came in, and then of course colonization then tore everything up, right? So that's the same thing happening here. We can't get the strong spiritual frequencies that we need because they didn't pull the Noah's Ark effect. You guys better go back and really understand what Noah's Ark is really about, because that is, and that's an energy implementing movement, transition, changing, Babylon. You just kind of understand, you have to understand what's really going on here. And so when I had to go do some energies, I say some energies in the desert, and one of the stops that I went to, what they call it, was Vegas. And I was there like for a day, and I was like really examining the frequencies of Vegas. I said, what the fuck happened here? So I sat back, I'm watching the tone, I'm watching the people. I said, Vegas is like that movie called They Live. When you put on those glasses, you see fucking zombies and aliens, gooks and goblins. People out here dead as fuck, right? So I really started to analyze the hotel frequency. And when I understood the hotel frequency, I said, well, goddamn, all these Chinese people own the hotels, and I don't know who else. Then you have the Mirage. They're going to tear that down. You, of course, the Flamingo. It's like anything that was old school that had a certain frequency to it is going to get torn down. So Vegas is basically dead. So I said, so what type of games are they playing? So looking at their television, I was flipped out when they had a very focal point to have, I don't know, it was Mandarin or Cantonese programming. But you go into these people hotels, you seeing dragons, you seeing Buddhas, you seeing all type of Asian frequency. I tried to warn people back in 2020 before the whoop wop. They went and closed, they had like a monument that was very layered. It was like a little temple in front of Hell's Kitchen. And I said, something they bringing in. I kept telling you guys, when you go to different places in the United States, they had a whole bunch of Hinduism shit and Indian shit. They had Indonesian temples and stuff like that. they was changing the frequency of America. I was saying during the whoop wop how they had all the homeless people in one place in San Francisco, which was in the Civic Center, had it closed off, gated off, and when you look inside, they had a whole bunch of Indian or Hinduism frequency with the I call it the dot people, which we have to understand there's different parts of Indians that we don't understand or know, but I'm gonna say the dot people. They had, and I'm being ignorant as fuck, and they had all the homeless people. And I remember telling, what's her name, Sandy, telling her, hey, they're ushering in something that's not cool. And I told her, I said, and it's connected to broke ass energy. I said America's gonna be fucked up because that energy is connected to classicism, is connected to not having wealth, is impoverished, is hungry, is everything, it's a hierarchy. Lo and behold, they kept pushing that energy on and on and on. So when I'm looking at Vegas today, Vegas is dead as fuck. But here's the thing, you wondering how in the fuck are these people coming in with them LLCs? Well, the underworld. See, we never think about them as being part of the underworld. They are big time in the underworld. Again, you know, I'm from San Francisco, Chinatown. That's nothing but the fucking underworld. They went, and I told you guys to go look up Shrimp Boy and the rest of them. They went in and got rid of this particular Asian person, killed her. Then you had Mayor Lee and shit, got rid of his ass. And I said, damn, it's very interesting. They got rid of Shrimp Boy, put his ass back in jail, and then they got rid of Mayor Lee. It was like the Asians in San Francisco was going down, you know? And then it did a different flip. So just to say all of that, so then you have this new energy coming into Vegas. And I said, what are they trying to change Vegas into? Then it made me think about Oakland and the Raiders and the A's, because I was talking to some of the people there, and they were kind of cracking on, saying, you know, I'm from San Francisco, whatever. And they like, we got your Raiders and A's. I said, I'm from San Francisco. I'm not from Oakland. And I told them, I said, that was some shady ass shit that they pulled. And they kind of portrayed the natives who really support those teams and so on. And I understand the Raiders originally came from Los Angeles, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So as I really started to look at Vegas, I said, this is straight political. These Asians and something put money behind taking wealth, taking monies, taking energies from an energy Oakland that is majority black. Remember I said black social experiment, taking it away. So that goes to show in practical form, of course, money talks. Money overpowers spirit anytime, but money is a spirit. It is an entity. It is a deity. It is all of that. So that entity took that team out, to both teams out of Oakland. What I got out the Vegas people, what they understood was something totally different what the fuck they were saying in the Bay Area. Because I had to tell them, I said, that's not true. That's not, is this what they telling you here? So I said, so that's what happened. Money, it didn't matter what any of the natives believe and fought and their true, you know, loyalty towards these teams. The money took them out. Your energies are black, out. Period. Just out. So they removed them, putting them there. It's like as if they may want to change Vegas kind of into, like, you know how Japan look, kind of spicy looking and lit it up. But it's boring as fuck. Everybody going there think they somebody, but you ain't nobody because they giving you a fake ass facade. And the bottom line is that this is the energies that's going on. They're using the fuck out of black money. They're using you again. They didn't went to the 1950s experiment again. They didn't sat up there, studied black people and wealth. But their target market are millennials and Gen Zs. They need millennials and Gen Zs to come to Vegas. So I was looking at some of the acts. New Edition, Boys to Men, Jodeci, Kevin Hart, Maroon 5 is coming. Christina Aguilera, Mariah Carey, Shania Twain, Garth Brooks. They had Little Dirk, Future, something going on with Future there. Who else? And I forgot that comedian, and I guess he been there for a minute. Then that Chico dude. I said, well, shit. Then they got, was it Pass the Mic? Was it Drop the Mic or Pass the Mic? So then you have fucking Dougie Fresh, Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Slick Rick, Too Short, Ghostface killing Raekwon, then Public Enemy. And then no telling who else. Then you have Cedric the Entertainer slash Tony Braxton. That right there brings in a certain market. I was telling somebody, I said, why would I go see New Edition and them when I seen them back in 1989 at their prime? That's none of my business. I forgot I'm Generation X. Who is this for? I said, that's a cold game and that's a cold spell. They want your nigga money. It's the same thing. It's just like you go into their shops. They just want your money. They don't want shit to do with you. So you're going to get all these niggas coming out there because they understand if we give them nigga and if we get broke back poor white folks or certain type of white folks with a certain type of energy, they're going to bring their asses out here to see these individuals. Okay? So I said, damn, that's a cold game and that's a cold spell. The other energy that's shifting in Vegas are basically male prostitutes. I had to apologize to one of my gay constituents because he was telling me, he said, all these men are gay out here. I was truly offended. I was like, that's not, And when I went out to Vegas and I started to see that energy, I said, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas? I'm telling y'all, I was only there for a day and I absorbed a lot. I'm walking around, I'm looking at a group of black dudes. I don't see them talking to females. It'll be either a group of 3, a group of 5, a group of 6. At times I counted a group of 10. And I said, well, where are the females at around you? What's going on? What's happening? Two people presented something to me. They said that what was going on out that weekend? And I said, I think it's some kind of basketball. And my son was telling me about it, some kind of basketball. And they said, sound like some prostitution going on. I said, what? I said, so this is the estate of black men, the Willie Lynch effect, and you telling me black people shouldn't sue the United States for pushing a manifesto like that? Those are the motherfuckers who's voting for Biden. They up there telling you white women voted for Biden. It was black gay males who voted for Biden. They're flavorful black males. Nobody talks about that, do they? Okay. So I'm just like, dang, people are under fake energy. They're under fake famous. They're under fake richness. This is not real. They're laughing at you. They're in their high rises. They're just taking your fucking money. So they're going to give you something to entertain you. Right? Meanwhile, I'm looking around. I'm looking in the universe. I said, hold on. How come this energy here has a whole bunch of pyramids around? I'm not talking about built. I'm talking about for real pyramids. See, here's where you guys got something fucked up. You guys think those fake ass pyramids in Egypt are the real pyramids. No. Your mountains, especially in shape, even your volcanoes, those are the pyramids. That damn Vegas has a whole bunch of pyramids. So I had to go back because when I left, I had to go into some other frequencies, into some other desert. I'm not going to tell you where I went, but where I went to, it was hot desert, and both of those locations also had pyramids. And I said, what the fuck is going on? Why are people traveling to fucking Egypt for pyramids, and the pyramids are right fucking here? And right in front of our eyes, we can see it. So then I started thinking about San Francisco. So I had to go back and look at old San Francisco the way that looked. I said, San Francisco is nothing but fucking pyramids. Swamp and pyramids. Louisiana, swamp and pyramids. Oh my gosh. Atlanta, swamp and pyramids. Fucking and someone brought to my attention the Appalachian Mountains, fucking pyramid. Alaska has hella pyramids. Hawaii, hella pyramids. Shit, Santa Cruz, California, hella pyramids. Mountains, Africa, of course. But I'm just saying, Ireland, pyramid. Central, South America, pyramids. Brazil. Then it made me think about the Asians. I said the Asians, now they're the new white people. They looking for spirit. They pulling energy. And they working their works. These are man, you guys are out here tripping. You not watching them watching you. Because again, you are the black social experiment. We don't know what it is. We too busy going to different countries, traveling, just to have bullshit and good times. No, in my opinion, until further motherfucking notice, niggas need to stop traveling. Because you don't even know what the fuck you're traveling for. What energies are you pulling? What are you fucking learning? White people then did the job. They went and got their spirit, what they believe. They believe they didn't learn something. You guys running up in these Asian countries, walking in they fucking dirt roads, thinking you doing something, taking pictures and want to be flow showing because you tripping that they looking at you. They wonder what the fuck you doing in their neighborhood. The passport bros, that was nothing but some game, a government game. It's just all what it is. The passport bros are nothing but some undercover gay boys. Cause they going to places that are very interesting. They them boys that was sitting up in Vegas in a fucking circle. So I'm not gonna keep playing with them, right? You got shit right here in the United States that you haven't fucking explored. Utah, Montana. Shit in front of your eyes. But these Asians, I'm going to say because I'm pointing them out, that Asians know what it is. And they are specifically strategizing and putting them in places of spirit. Who's Brazil? What the fuck? That is spirit. That's energies. That's frequencies. Right? So we have to understand what's going on in this universal soul and how is all that connected to the election. Do you understand by breaking up certain countries like Africa and this and that, and those energies America thrived on, we're doing work, doing spell work, pulling energies, going to those countries, getting certain work done. And now you have this certain other energy that sat up and bought America, then infiltrated it, invested in it, and changes the scope of it. That's why we out here not thriving. How can America be broke? And again, this is layman, but America makes its own money. What the fuck is really going on here? What aliens then came in? We out here looking at, what's that Abenani wedding. On my social media, that shit was coming up back to back. I said, I don't give a fuck about this shit. This not my culture. I don't care about no star-studded prostitution shit. I don't want to look at Khloe Kardashian and Kim We know what the fuck they're doing. Why do we care? I wanted this shit off. I couldn't even research and get on social media good without that fucking wedding popping up. I don't care about these people. Who gives a fuck? Huh? Then I thought about it. I said, cause his ass the president. Y'all think I'm crazy, right? I said, he the president. Is that makes sense? Of course they're showing his wedding. Cause we're looking at our president's wedding. Allegedly. They're distracting us, telling us about all this other shit, but they keep enforcing this Indian culture. And America, especially black people, are living just like the Indian people. Black women are looking grimy. People out here broke. They impoverished. They're poverty. They're being restricted. They're being told that their federal and amendments don't mean shit. They're censoring shit. That sound like them. They're up there ego tripping and arrogance and pride in front of people's faces, putting this weird shit on social media. This motherfucker's the president. You got them keep talking about trafficking, but they the ones who own labs, the beauty marts and all that shit, which they can wash money and hide it. They just part what? God damn. They the ones who don't want any competition. They the ones who's poisoning our foods. They have them as CSC, as CEOs, CFOs, and all of that. They went and changed the scope of education, pushing out niggas. They want to make it difficult for us to be in biology and chemistry, because then we, of course, we can, understand and investigate and understand what's going on with these foods. They create these dyes and all of that fictitious ass shit. Then they work hand in hand with, of course, the Asian culture. We out here being manipulated and poisoned like a motherfucker in America. But how can we trust people who eat feces and vomit? The Bible says people are like dogs who backtrack and eat their own vomit. This is not allegedly. We've seen it. It's the truth. How do we trust people who praise trans men statues and idols? What? Well, that's the motherfucking president. But then if we fuck with Trump, then what? Then who's gonna be the president? Putin? The Ukraine? What the fuck is going on here? Okay. We out here tripping on this Project 2025, but in reality, Project 2025 have nothing to do with boomers and Generation X. That's targeted towards millennials and Gen Zs, because y'all are so simple-minded and y'all believe any motherfucking thing, and you believe what the fuck the government told you, but you don't even know your rights and your amendments. You don't even know when someone's treating you fucked up on the job that you can sue them federally. But Alex Jones, even though he's full of shit and the militia, they don't like him, but He was dropping lugs back then when he said that America is going to do a terrorist attack on black people, basically genocide, neutralization, right? As they've been doing. He said that they're going to attack colleges and more. He said churches, but that's old school shit, but they did attack churches. Because during the whoop wop, they shut down all the churches. They shut down even religion. That was a terrorist attack. Now they didn't shut down mega churches, but we never needed mega churches. The churches, they went and sent in gentrifiers, these traveling gypsies to gentrify different parts of the United States, to tear up neighborhoods, then create all of these big ass apartments and this art energy that's fake art energy, just to, money launder allegedly, and wash money and insurance policy ass shit allegedly, from what they say, just to tear up a neighborhood and break it apart, which is a terrorist attack. They go into neighborhoods, they cause floods, they cause chemical warfare, they fuck with the weather. That's a fucking terrorist attack. They go into grocery stores, allegedly shoot motherfuckers up. Allegedly, they believe it's a hoax and different things are happening. That's a terrorist attack. So that makes a lot of sense to why they shut down Alex Jones. But Alex Jones is just another young pharaoh, because they shut down Alex Jones, then they put young pharaoh in place, but people wasn't really listening to young pharaoh. But then now Alex Jones is back on the scene, so now old shit is coming up, where he was trying to warn motherfuckers that they are trying to play games with you, that they're trying to take you out, niggas. That's why the militia was laughing at us, but that's why they went and exterminated the militia, because the militia keep your eyes open, like, well, what the fuck is really going on? So we're just going to neutralize the whole black the nationalist energy, and create black citizens, which are these immigrants coming in, and restructure. We're going to cause a terrorist attack your women, attack your men, attack your children, attack the family structure, because if you attack the family structure, that takes away foundation. So we're also going to attack your religion, so you have nothing to grab on. We're going to make you feel so hopeless, and there's nothing else you can do in this universe, that we're going to have you under our command. Do you understand? We have black people out here that believe that they're hopeless and they can't do nothing. And then I say, how are you hopeless when your ancestors before you made something out of nothing and they went through worse? You supposed to stand on the backs of your ancestors. And it don't have to be your fucking bloodline. As black people, we supposed to be in the spirit and ancestral. See, they out here playing with you with this ancestral magic. They want to tell you what to put on your altar, how to put on your altar, what to put on your... Now, fuck all that bullshit. Fuck all that bullshit that they're telling you on the internet. That's the whole point. To confuse you. Fuck all that. Don't put this ancestor on here and don't put that. Fuck what you are saying, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because all you niggas is just trying to be front and center on social media. But in reality, as black people, we need to seriously go back to that, because we not holding on to anything. The other problem is, and I've been having this problem myself, you got too many motherfuckers who you work with, some of you, that's hating on you. If the spirit did not guide you to be, then stay in your motherfucking lane. If the spirit have you being, I'm saying, a professor, then be the best motherfucking professor that you can be, and let your occultist or whoever back you up in it so you could be the best. They then tricked you, made you believe you could do it, I could do it, they could do it, we could do it. That's not true. I was listening to this man, and he makes his money of doing kind of circus tricks. And they were talking to him, and he does the drill in his nose. And they ask him, hey, how do you do this now? And he go and tell them, anybody can do this. You just have to be disciplined and blah, blah, blah. And I make a lot of money. No. The spirit have you doing it. That's what you supposed to do. You don't gonna tell no regular Joe Small that he can do it. That's the motherfucking problem. And white people started that shit. Because white people are warlocks and wizards. And they always want to do spell work. See, back in that's why I point at Exodus. Exodus showed you Moses' wand. Because him as a fleshly person, he couldn't do shit. So this God gave him a wand to be a trickster. Kind of like the Joker. Did y'all forget when Joker, he used to have, the Joker, that he used to have a cane? So white people, like the razzmatazz and the gunpowder, created, you could do it, I could do it, we could do it, we all can do it. No, we cannot. That's why white people do a lot of rituals. That's why we out here fucked up. That's why the world is fucked up. Asians are fucking up the ecosystem. That's who's fucking up the ecosystem. They come from bricks and concrete foundation. You got to look at who's fucking up the ecosystem. Can you trust an energy that only lived in sand? Can you trust an energy that says that they care about that they care about human life, but they will kill it? And talk about that they PETA? You can't trust this shit. The world has created an illusion and delusional frequency here. You got broke people mentality trying to run shit in America. You didn't give jobs and positions and high positions to broke people in broke mental state who don't even know how to act human. You put people in place who's going to listen because they don't want to go back to be broke again. They think they somebody. Let me give you a great example. I was at that fucking LAX airport. That place is confusion, right? I sat back and I analyzed customer service. I said, what's been going on with customer service? And I feel on social media, it's a lot of propaganda going on, and we're not getting the real and true stories of what the fuck is going on. Okay? And I think we get secondhand information. So as you guys seen, there's been a lot of frequencies going on with the airport. They just show you frustrated people, but they never show you the workers. They never show you the buildup of the frustration, do they? Let's look at some energies, because now I'm going to be discriminatory. LAX have a lot of Mexicans working there. I found the Mexican workers to be disrespectful, rude, out of line, out of pocket, and very dismissive. And they all work together. And there's something in place, and I'll give up the airlines I was on was Delta. It was something in place. It's something in place that they're told to be disrespectful towards people. Horrible customer service, but to be disrespectful. And I kept noticing something. I said, who are these people that they walking in line in front of people, right? And maybe I should have did whatever, to be ahead, but I'm just like, whatever. I go with the flow. So I guess it's this thing called clear whatever, and you go ahead of the line. And I had stopped a Black woman and asked her about it. She said, oh, and she explained it to me. So that's how I understood what it is. I said, okay. She said, just go, she was explaining to me how to sign up. I said, okay, the next time I'll do that. They should have a separate TSA line for that. Because if people in line, how are you going to say, excuse me, walk through a line and put those people in front? No, you need to have a line for them and have a separate energy for them. That's rude and insulting and disrespectful as fuck to walk these people in front of people who's been standing in line and may be late for their flight, right? So I stood there. Then this Mexican guy walked this white man, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe it was something going on or whatever. Nope, it was nothing going on. So I'm like, okay, what was happening here? He hopped him in front. I listened to what was going on. I said, hold on. I told him, I stopped him. I said, excuse me. I said, maybe going forward, you should educate people and notify them what's going on instead of walking someone in front of them and pushing them ahead and not saying, hey, this is what's going on. I said, that's called customer service. He decided, I'm going to keep real. I'm going to be that Mexican. You ain't going to tell. He looked at me like this and said, I don't got to tell you nothing. I said, excuse me? And then walked away because that's what they do, which make the situation worse, more escalated. Walk away. He turned his flat Mexican back ass. Yeah, I'm being racist. His flat Mexican ass, back ass, turned around. Then I got pissed even more. And he talking shit, talking about, I don't get paid from you. I get paid and they pay me to do this. And I had to educate him. I said, excuse me, my ticket is what pays your paycheck. A white man is not pulling out of his money out of his pocket to pay your ass. So there's something, because I've been noticing this with a lot of Mexicans, it's something about them that they don't get consumers. I don't know if it's because because they can run money and in their community, they could get a next job, but they don't understand if you're not customer service based and you're not consumer based, then you don't have a job, you don't have a business. So I'm assuming because they are such a strong community that they feel that they could get away with that. Because then when I got to the TSA, putting stuff on the conveyor belt, that was an issue. That was a whole bunch of confusion, and the white guy behind me was like, what the hell is going on? It was an Indian family 10 deep, causing a whole bunch of confusion. The family somehow got separated. They held up the line so all of them can get back together. They still not explaining what's going on. I'm like, again, I said, excuse me, what's going on here? It's all this confusion. You not saying nothing. And he looked and he said, I don't have to tell you nothing. We don't have to tell you nothing. You have an issue with the person with the wheelchair. I said, I'm not tripping on that wheelchair woman. I'm tripping on all these people that you put ahead of us. Then, because he was trying to shape it, then I understood what was going on. They used the wheelchair person to get ahead of everybody with a family who came from Disneyland 10 deep, had a whole bunch of shit going on, holding people up, and then some of them got separated in the line, and they was pulling them out the line so they could all be together. And again, it's an issue. Then another woman spoke up, and I said, what is up with these Mexicans with this very interesting customer service skills? So that's when I start to understand. I said, these workers are not being shown in their true nature. Just like even with when I see some of these young black people, especially young black females working, and the way how they snap off on you. What the fuck? I remember I would have gotten fired for that. I remember working for fucking Pacific Bell, and they asses said that I sounded perturbed on the phone and dinged me and then terminated me. I had a Filipino person and in customer service, these people dealing with my motherfucking money, say that they didn't like my energy and hung up. And saying that they are told if they don't like your energy, they could just hang up on you. You got Indians in customer service. You talk to they ass, they talking rough. Saying, well, we don't have to take this. Click. This is how the world is working, right? So then this is where you get the Trump campaign. The Trump campaign, they built this in our world right now. Now we're in a bubble. We're ready to bust. We're angry. We're frustrated. We're tired of the immigrants. We're tired of all this third world energy. We are nationalists. We are not fucking citizens. We're nationalists. Black people, we're tired. We're tired. We're tired. And white people, tired. Everybody tired. Everybody fed the fuck up. So now we're going to bring in Trump. We don't care the shadiness, the illegalness. He has this running partner dude going on. We don't give a fuck. We just want our money, our wealth, our prosperity, our energy. We want our lives back. We tired. So Trump campaign created a campaign called the Hyper poverty, hyper racism, hyper discrimination, hypersexual, hyper arrogance, hyper perversion, hyper control, hyper criminal, hyper lawlessness, hyper censorship, hyper citizenship, hyper gullible, hyper sensitive, hyper emotion, hyper cluelessness, hyper inclusiveness, all the above, hyper fear, hyper. So we are at the extent that we hype. If hyphy had a face, hype. That we are willing to say, we forgive you, Trump. Please, master, please bring us back as black people, master. We don't care if you faked the whole shooting. We don't care about that fake ass blood. We don't care about that fake ass energy that somebody got killed. We're just going to ignore the fact that people looking confused and this man looking confused in the back. There's a whole shooting going on. We're just going to confuse that. We're just going to not confuse. We're just going to forget all of that. Because now we're going to get niggas coming out trying to tell us the code. I don't give a fuck about a code. I don't give a fuck what he's saying about the military. I give a fuck about how they sat up and created a whole scene from the whoop wop and more. to create a hyper society. They're tearing down America to rebuild it. They're showing it. They played you out. This is a game. It's a movie. It doesn't matter who wins. It's the fact that they're going to the Black Caucus, you're played out. NAACP, you're played out. Young Black Democrats, you're played out. This is a new energy coming in town. Are we going to be entrepreneurs or businessmen? Which one? So we're going to create a whole Hollywood movie with fake blood and all. Then this nigga throwing up, I'm talking about Trump, his fucking power to the people sign. What the fuck? Now he didn't create tennis shoes. Now you got niggas coming out. Well, it means the right. It was the right ear, and it was the blood, and then it means this. Then it's going to. Then I what? Who gives a fuck about that? What I give a fuck about is how they tore up America to rebuild it, and this is where you niggas are tripping on that 2025 shit. It's all a game. You guys are sleeping out here. It's recycled shit that they keep doing. This is what they've been doing for centuries and decades. You didn't realize, that's why I said the 1700s was a very important time that they don't talk about. Because they lied to you after they restructured America and colonized it and confused it. Noah's Ark is telling you how they shifted people around and then created different energies to remove different lands and properties by flood and earthquake. They're talking about in certain old Bibles, it showed the United States as the place of the pyramids. And pyramids are very important because those are focal points that absorb energy. Certain places are very pyramidy and certain places are swampy, and we need both. Florida is a very important energy. That's why I said I don't understand how Haitians are going to the East Coast when they're closer to the West Coast. See how they confuse you? You don't know what the fuck is going on. And if you guys sit up and believe that Trump shit was real, you stupid. You more stupid than what I thought. But it's good though. Good acting. On some parts, he had to play his part. See how he's pandering to black folks? This whole thing is a distraction. I'm too busy trying to, as they over here doing all that, I'm trying to figure out, let me see here. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is this Chevron energy that's been overturned. Chevron, differences has been overturned, so the FBI, IRS, and CIA are no longer constitutional. What is this? I'm still trying to understand what the heck this Chevron energy is. Okay? I'm still trying to figure out, did Wayne Williams, did he really kill those black kids? Or were those kids trafficked and we're looking at them in the entertainment world today? You know, the Atlanta murders. Was it white supremacy? Who did it? Was it government? What is this case law that I'm trying to understand? State versus Mobley, 240 NC 476A3. Each person has the right to resist an unlawful arrest. In such a case, the person attempting the arrest stands in the position of a wrongdoer and may be resisted by the use of force in self-defense. What's this? I'm trying to understand this. I'm trying to understand what the fuck is going on with black people. Where's our money going? I'm trying to understand how in the fuck do you stop generating money to help each other? I'm trying to understand how the mega churches were part of the governmental energy to break up the smaller churches, which was very important politically and financially. I'm trying to understand how did black people get fucked up in the underworld and now they're not even in the underworld moving money and shit around. How did that happen to help communities? How in the fuck did black people get pushed out of political energies and social service jobs and all of this? How? I don't have time for this fucking distraction. Spirit had to show me shit. I was like, hell, I'm living in an Asian person house right now. Then Spirit had to say, but they don't own the land. Whose land was that built on? And are there dead bodies underneath it? I'm still trying to understand Lake Lanier. When I seen the original pictures of how it looked, I said, how did they put that underwater? What the fuck is going on? Why does Mississippi have so many dead bodies? Why is San Francisco hiding dead bodies? Very interesting. How in the fuck did black people get put back on the chitlin circuit? But at least back then when we was in the chitlin circuit, we helped each other and we monopolized and pushed ourselves up. The chitlin circuit today, you just eating chitlins. You ain't shit. You ain't coming up. How in the fuck did the Simmons girl become a hoe? How she Reverend Run's daughter? What the fuck happened? They must owe some money for that to happen. How in the fuck the chitlin circuit became Tubi? How in the fuck are they on Tubi showing real shit that happened in Atlanta with the swingers and the husbands and the wives and everybody fucking each other? I had no clue that 90% of them guys on Tubi are gay boys. What the fuck? How in the fuck? What's her name? Is Slutty Vegan doing a residency in Los Angeles? How come we not connecting that veganism is played out? What the fuck are those toxins in vegan food? Why can't we just eat vegetables? Why are we not reevaluating kale? What the fuck is going on here? What is going on with these LLCs? How come we not tripping on these restaurants, hotels, beauty clinics, labs, apartment buildings, and gyms as being havens for these third world or other people to come in to make money off of us and to run money and to do bullshit in America? Why are we not tripping that these chains, like what's it called, California Pizza, are now being bought by certain other cultures of people, and they are altering the menu and putting their cultured food on there, like Szechuan spaghetti. Excuse me. Why are we not tripping that our taste buds have a whole bunch of curry and Asiatic type of foods in addition to salsa and Mexican shit? We not tired of that shit. How in the fuck we were told, women, how come they put a black face Rick Ross as pretending to own Wingstop? Who really owned Wingstop? And how come we not understanding that he's just a person? He's a land watcher or whatever. What they call those people watching people property? Well, what's up with Rick Ross? I'm just in people business. Like, how come we not tripping on bullshit, right? What is behind a lot of these products and arts? And as I call it, the boom boom rooms. I was listening to Marvin Gaye in his interview, and I said, this nigga crazy. Talking about bachelor, and he'd rather be swinging. At least they was slick with it back in the day, right? The Republican National Convention. The fuck, who in the fuck is Baby Dog? A fucking bulldog? Jim Justice, the governor? And I said, well, he's very plump and shapely. What kind of spell work is this? Amber Rose? Influencer and rapper? You mean the woman who had the slut walk? When did she become a rapper? Is that why Wiz Khalifa is in jail for weed? Did she sacrifice her baby daddy? Damn, this isn't for real fake campaign and election. We don't know what this is. Did y'all see Giuliani? He fell on down on it. I said, what the fuck he doing? What did he fall on? He fell all down rolling in the chairs and shit. They had to help his ass up. The hell? So you telling me this is not a social experiment? They so cheap out here. They, in 2025, see how they keep going there in 2025? And basically next year. Hotels, 500 plus. Your ass ain't gonna have a toothbrush, no mouthwash, none of that with they cheap asses. That show you who's who, what is what. That's broke back shit. But let me ask you a question. Since they playing them games, are you going to become an entrepreneur? What are you going to create for the travel world? What are you going to create since they want to play them type of games? Because you know all they're going to do is try to bring in their own people, their own product. But that shit may have arsenic in it, so you probably don't want to fuck with that. All you conscious niggas who got fucking toothpaste and toothbrush and all that shit, what the fuck you doing? What type of travel shit are you going to create since they want to play them type of games? See, if they want to play broke, you supposed to monopolize on top of that. You supposed to create an energy, a prototype, an entrepreneurship. What can you put together now? You bitches out there getting traffic and working and shit, hoeing. Hoes getting caught up. What can you create for hoes? Since there's more men out here hoeing women, what products, what can you create for they asses? I'm just asking questions. They have disposable cock rings. What can you create? You're supposed to flow with the times. And whatever they doing, you go against the times to create your own entrepreneurship. Like I said, they pushing you out of school on bullshit. That shit's not real. They just don't want you to go to school for the right thing. They don't want you to be attorneys, judges, doctors, none of that. And what they don't want you to be, you're supposed to be. Whatever they eliminating, you create. What they probably going to do is probably be so fucking crazy up in a hotel, they'll probably have a dispense machine, a dispense one, and have all the products that you supposed to have in the hotel room, especially luxury hotel rooms. They probably going to have you paying for that in the room. What they say that they ain't giving it to you for free, because we broke back mountain. You can't live in luxury. We living in luxury. I'm just thinking about in Vegas. In a minute, Wild and Out is going to be in Vegas. As you guys are distracted with this fake ass energy, this fake ass election, allegedly. Played out energy, Bill Gates, the Rockefellers, Rothschild, gay people, trans people, you're getting played out. Black gay people, black trans people, you're getting played out. Mark Jacobs is played out. It is played out to have Little Uzi in a fucking dress and him clanking fingernails talking about that he's acknowledging black women, and you guys ate that shit up. Gucci is played out, especially with that energy they had with A$AP Rocky. Don't know if he's female or male. Played out. Black people were the fad and trendsetters. Certain things are played the fuck out. That energy called high valued man, you played the fuck out. Ain't no high value man. It's just you, nigga. You ain't high valued. That shit is played the fuck out. I'm sick and tired of hearing these dudes talk about I'm a high value man and there's so many women that want me and nigga, fuck you. Fuck you. It's time for black women to say, well, fuck you, nigga. You going with your high valued ass, because you ain't doing nothing but over there fucking high valued other men. Because a woman not having children doesn't mean she's high valued. A woman's weight, a woman's looks, a woman's hair doesn't mean she's high valued. That equals to you. And you will find a lot of these dudes that say that is nothing but a magic trick. That's bullshit. For me, that comes from the East Coast. There's certain dynamics that I've been seeing from the East Coast that we have adopted across the boards in different regions. California need to be California. Atlanta, you need to be Atlanta, but you didn't fucked up Atlanta because New York then went there and fucked it up. New York is New York. Philadelphia is Philadelphia. Everybody, the East is the East. The West is the West. The Midwest is the Mid. Everybody should have stayed in their own lane. We didn't let the philosophies of the East Coast blanket. And those people have a lot of issues. And I'm saying it just like that. And I don't give a fuck who's tripping and angry. I deal and talk a lot to a lot of people from the East Coast. And I deal and I talk a lot with the women. It is hard. And the shit that they go through and their mental, it's a trip. It's an interesting philosophy. And I was listening to people like Lord, what's his name, Lord Jamar, and all, what's his name? Yeah, Lord Jamar. I said, he's an asshole. I remember seeing his ass over there in that Brooklyn and on Flatbush. And I was so glad to see him. I said, oh, Lord Jamar. That nigga looked at me like this. I said, oh. I said, shit. And aren't we tired? Podcasts are played out. Jaguar Wright is played out. Niggas always telling on niggas is played out. What the fuck? Gossipers and whatever else should be over here. When did niggas like Lord Jamar and Jaguar Wright and the rest of these motherfuckers become moving to a certain scene? Umar Johnson, why in the fuck are you talking to Nick Cannon? Played out. There's so much other shit to think about and money to be made. East Coast energy is a different type of energy that's similar to Indian energy. That's a struggle life. So they're going to live in struggle ways. They're going to hustle and do what they do. We should not be in their culture. That's their life. That's their culture. That's what made us all different. This high valued shit, that came from there. Cause I ain't never heard no shit like that. The only time that you may hear something like that was from some white boy or white man who got a skinny ass wife who's supposed to be a certain echelon. That energy came from them. And these group of people then sat up and took old white ways and made it their way. And then pushed that out to us. Conscious community played out. If the conscious community is not talking about current issues that's going on, and we still talking about Nick Cannon and them fucking kids, and we still talking about white and black, well, I have questions. I need to understand this witchery that's going on here, you right? But I'm going to get to that. Orishas are played the fuck out. The Orishas saying, leave us the fuck alone. We are tired. You guys fucking up the ancestors, that's fucking played out. New age thinking, that's fucking played out. All that shit is played out. Argument over natural hair versus fake hair, that shit is played out. You niggas over here so focused on that. Meanwhile, you got white people over here talk about dreading hair, and you niggas talking about it's locks. You got Asians doing Afro Perms. You got white women cooking soul food. You got white women over here, cooking soul food, but you niggas talking veganism, right? Okay. You got white women over here braiding hair. What the fuck? Let's get into something here. Let me say this. What's also played out are people getting online showing their spell work and talking spell work and giving advice about somebody's spell work. I'm tired of that one too. I'm tired of seeing niggas having their fucking warriors on fucking social media blowing rum and alcohol on that shit, trying to show how they do their work. What the fuck? What are you doing? And a lot of those idols and artifacts are made in China anyway. That's why I try my best. Whatever I buy, I look for, to be honest with you, I look for it to come from certain countries. I want to get back to these Asians. There's a difference when we're out here talking about appropriation, right? So you got this energy of people, black people mad because Asians are out here kinking up their hair with these vinegars and so on. Let me tell you something. It is a difference from whiteisha and vinegar niggas. Vinegar niggas are the Asians kinking up their hair. Whiteisha is the one who thinks she's black, a white girl. Whiteisha is jealous and envious of us, right? She may even date a black guy and can't stand your black ass and sit up and say, I don't her with that big ass butt and da 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 da. Got you, Whiteisha. I know who you are, Whiteisha. I don't know who these vinegar niggas are. I'm peeping. The vinegar niggas are to eliminate black people and black women. If you go back to the sun energy, aka the alcohol drink Corona, I'm talking about the drink Corona. I'm not talking about what it is, what it ain't, the whoop wop. Remember in the beginning, before it was the 19 and all that other shit, but it was that alcohol beverage, aka? Do you remember when them Chinese took sick and they turned brown and dark brown? Do you remember that part? In a minute, what's going to happen? That was a whole science experiment that they did in front of our faces that they've been doing. They're going to kink up their hair as they doing now. They showing us, and they're going to change their color. And some of you millennials and Gen Zs are going to get bamboozled. And when them kids come out, you're going to be what the fucks. That's a cold game, and that's a cold spell. That means right now they're trying to figure out DNA. If you have kids by these people, if they man or woman, they're going to try to figure out to have their kids to come out black. Don't worry, that's on the loose. So you guys are angry because these vinegar niggas have figured out ways to kink their hair. But you more worried about whiteisha. I'll be more concerned about these vinegar niggas on the simple fact that they're literally trying to soul mount you and become you, and they're figuring out different witchcraft ways to eliminate you. Okay? That's what's happening because they are looking for spirit. I told you they don't have spirit. So they're in different sectors of the world trying to gain spirit because they don't have it. Okay, so they have basically followed their other energies, which they're honorary, but they're following white people who look for spirit. So what they understand, and they have studied our melanin, our hair, and everything. They understand that in our kink, and it doesn't matter if we wear wigs, lace fronts, or whatever, because we understand technically lace fronts have always been used in studio, television, Broadway, whatever you want on stage. That's what these are for. Okay? Wigs and everything else. Black women have always worn wigs. And to be honest with you, those are the coldest witches that I know, especially church wig wearers. My grandmother wore a big ass Jerry curl wig, and that was a cold one right there. So I don't knock that. Okay? And it doesn't matter what you put on top of your hair is still its entity. It's a separate entity, even if you relax it. The problem is when you relax your hair, of course, those chemicals enter into the pores and fuck with the pancreas and the liver and everything else, and also cause fibroids. That's what it is, but it doesn't change the dynamics of the DNA and the kink and the curl of the hair. They want that because they understand and they've studied us that our hair is spirit and melanin and intelligence. So they know they don't have that, so they're creating it and thinking if they kink their hair or turn a certain color, they can get the spirit. No. Because you don't have the DNA. Even though you are our children and you are the descendants and of the energies, but the bottom line is that you don't have the kink in your hair. Filipinos, Cambodians and stuff like that, I get it. Okay? Especially, them darker Filipinos with the kink and all that. Okay, get it. But when we talking about, in some cases, of course, with the Japanese and so on, because we understand the original energies of Japan, they were black. China, they were black. We get all that. But there's even parts, if we go to India, I'm trying to figure out, and this is what I kept telling you, who are these Indians with the kinky hair? Okay? But I don't want to get all into that. But we have to understand the Afro Perm. They want to beat us. The Asians played the fuck out of us. You motherfuckers go get ethnic rhinoplasties. You guys are getting plastic surgeries. They're changing your features and you're looking ugly. They have destroyed the black woman's features, but they want it. You guys get the ethnic rhinoplasty looking like Pinocchio. I'm not tripping on the Latins. They've always did plastic surgery. I'm not tripping on their asses. I'm tripping on these new Euro motherfuckers. I'm tripping on these Asians. And they will disfigure your face if you let them. They barely can do ejections right. You guys out here doing 360s. They intentionally fucking you up. They are fucking Frankensteins. Witch doctors. Now you guys have fucked up your features so much where you almost dead, that your body smell. They have disfigured you. They have put DNA in places where it shouldn't be. Period. Stop playing with these Asians and they shit. They doing witchcraft. It's called soul mounting. And they're building themselves up to fucking be you, but they're going to disfigure you. Dumbasses. Y'all mad because they out here cosplaying us. You let them. I hate to say to you, Generation X and Boomers didn't let that happen. Millennials did, and you inclusive Gen Zs. If we would have seen some Asian girl doing that shit, I need to ask a question. Shouldn't Naomi Campbell be a handler instead of her being handled? How is she being handled by Law Roach? What did she do? She should be a Rachel Pringle. Look up Rachel Pringle. She should be a fucking brothel madam. Maybe that's the problem. Most of you hoes out here need to be under the energies of Rachel Pringle. They'll lie to you and said that she was enslaved. No, that's not the story. Naomi Campbell needs to get from under the witchery of ballroom. Most women need to get out of the witchery of ballroom. That should be a different subculture. That should not blanket an industry. And I'm noticing that the majority of it are black women. Y'all out here tripping over that energy of that panel talking about witchery in television. And you guys went for that white woman who said that some New Orleans witches called her and basically said you're in trouble and you shouldn't play them games. Don't go for that motherfucking bullshit. Because she said that she looked the shit up like as if Googled. Let me tell you something. That is a cold game to get people to get online to start looking up spell work, to do certain works, to bring in a certain frequency. Okay? That's all what that is. That woman know fucking well they ain't Google no fucking shit to do no fucking spell work to put on fucking television or in the media. And the only fucking alleged witches that could have hit her up was nobody. Because the bottom line is that most of them witches, the New Orleans motherfuckers, are white. Ain't nobody called that woman up. They hire people to do work and to do ritual work, and some of that is governmental, especially under the CIA. They have readers and all. It's like this person, what's her name, like Sloan whatever, and they saying that she predicted a shooting that will happen. What's her name? Sloan something. I'm trying to think about it. Sloan something, and she made a prediction. She didn't make a prediction. They have people that they put in place and put them out on social media and say that they're readers and they're psychics, and they're not. And in some cases, the CIA will hunt for people like that. Okay? That's what that is. Them people that call themselves predicting, or some of them may even be part of, especially the black ones, part of the cult. I'm trying to think of the woman's name. But just to say all of that, that panel call is talking about some witches and hit them up. Ain't no witches. Ain't no New Orleans witches hit them up by some white folks that they already work with, that they already do rituals. Do you know how many years rituals been going on? That's that whole energy that they up there talking about Lucille Ball and them. Lucille Ball didn't call no fucking New Orleans witches. You heard him talk about Babalu. You know what they really doing. They just do rituals. They just want motherfuckers to sit up and start uprooting and looking up shit online. That's why y'all can get fucked up. Because, you know, white people believe that they're the connoisseurs of voodoo, hoodoo, and root work. And they have their own little Wiccanism and paganism society. So we need to cut it out with them. And that whole story tale. Y'all out here tripping hella hard about that whole concept. They've been doing ritual. That's that shit I was telling you when Nickelodeon. And the rituals that they was doing with the kids and people. They do rituals. They don't call up no New Orleans witches. Ain't no New Orleans witches hit their asses up. Nobody tripping on no bippity bappity boo. That's why I was like, why y'all taking this seriously? They out here lying. Going back to plastic surgery and the Asians, they out here doing what they call frontoplasties, like a frontal. Stop playing. Keep on being distracted under these people. You guys should be out here creating entrepreneurship. Like, why are we not seeing dog doulas? You doulas, you know, the ones that y'all learned under and got a certificate under y'all should go to veterinarian school for a hot minute and be a fucking dog doula, because there's a new industry out here of mixing different dog breeds together, making a super dog, which those are scary dogs. They look like Hellraiser. But then y'all could be dog doulas. They out here doing fucking cesareans and all that shit, doing illegal cesareans. Shit. Y'all better learn how to birth these damn dogs, because they're not trying to bring them to the veterinarian. Dog doulas. I told somebody else to do this. Animal doulas. I'm telling you, because y'all gonna get a whole new animal type of energies out here. Told you all over the place. I'm trying to help you black people make some money. Especially some of you natural motherfuckers. You guys want to practice veganism? Teach, show, and create clean food veganism without chemicals, without kale, without all that weird shit that they're giving us. Create that. We're not talking about that, are we? Anyway. That's her name. Her name is Sloan Bella. Sloan Bella appears to be a CIA implant. I call it. Now, doesn't mean it's under the CIA, but CIA implant. And all she said it was that someone will be shot. She's like a psychic readers. You got to be careful of many of these psychic readers that they put in front. Now, like I said, Sylvia Brown, I know Sylvia Brown was real, but when she got on Montel Williams, that's where things fucked up. Because again, my mother and them seen Sylvia Brown, so I know the energies behind that. So then Richard Simmons, he's dead again, huh? Didn't he die a minute ago? Because Shannon Doherty, about fucking time. What's her name? Cheryl Duvall? They made her crazy as a motherfucker. All these basketball players and football players dying, huh? Pauly Shore couldn't wait for Richard Simmons for them to announce that shit so he could come back. That might be Richard Simmons right there, Pauly Shore. That Witchery and Witchcraft. Did y'all see that shit with Miles Davis? That was an evil man. He said he used to pimp women. Did you see that nasty Witchery from Taylor Swift? How she likes to have snot in her hands. Her and Lady Gaga, they some slimy occultists. Ooh, they nasty bitches. You gotta fuck them up at the gate. You can't play with them bitches. Bitches who sit up and blow snot in their hands. Bitch, that's spell work. And Lady Gaga be vomiting and all that shit. That's a cold game and a cold spell. And white women, they cold like that. And then shake your hand. You better watch, bitches. I was looking up Tommy Wright, a.k.a. Eazy-E stole that man's whole identity. Tommy Wright from Memphis. Look him up. Tommy Wright equals Eric Wright equals Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm starting to believe y'all. I don't think that is Kevin Gates. Most of this spell work out here is very colonized. I was looking up that Thomas Thistlewood. That man was doing urine magic, feces magic, and hot pepper magic. The fuck? And he was doing this to the people that he had captured. And what's going on with Louisiana that niggas are out here now talking about vampires, invisible people, and casket girls? What the fuck are y'all talking about? What they about to do in Louisiana? In a minute, Krishan and Blueface son gonna come back as Elon Musk. Just like Elon Musk came back as Nikola Tesla. I'll let y'all sit on that. Somebody was angry saying that gay people need to be looked at a little closer when they adopt children, especially black children. They got in their energies. Well, I need to understand, why are adults adopting adults and why are old white men adopting black children? Because they're lonely. more and more, I was listening to a story about Zsa Zsa Gabor. I had no clue that Zsa Zsa Gabor was crazy as a motherfucker. And they had her ass up in a fucking psych ward. And then I was thinking about that artist, that Yuri Yai, whatever, that polka dot artist, that Japanese chick who's 95 years old. I didn't know that bitch was living up in a fucking psych ward in Tokyo. And then they let her free to go do art from fucking 9 to 6 p.m. The hell? I told you these people crazy. I told you they was living up in a psych ward. And now it's coming out more and more that these people were living in psych wards. What's her name? That Jody chick? The one who killed her boyfriend because he didn't want to be with her? She up in jail doing fabulous artwork. She charging $8,000 for it. I said, shit. Who else been out here doing artwork and they up in jail? I told you, those are your best artists. When my father was in prison, he would always have someone sketch my black ass. My kid's father did the same thing. Shit. What's going on with Jonathan Majors? He need to be set free from Megan Good. Deb Anthony, I heard she's a motherfucker. What the fuck she has a show for? I'm still trying to understand where Waka Flocka is. And that's your son. I'll let y'all catch that. What's up with this white girl? She was singing the national anthem, that Ingrid Andress, whatever. She's showing you the fabric of America, the way she sang that shit like Helter Skelter. The fuck was that? I was like, what the fuck is this? I'll start cracking up. And Candy Burris, they need to just quit that whole Escape tour. Andre 3000, he out here playing that damn recorder and shit, causing mayhem wherever he fucking go. That people in the mind going crazy like a motherfucker. He get to playing that fucking recorder or that AK flute or whatever it is, that piper, and people just start losing their head. What the fuck was going on at Marlon Wayans' house that he wasn't home, but his brother Keenan was home allegedly, and there was a robbery? Why does Julie Chrisley get out of jail but not Tory Lanez? Because you know they went and fucked up his money allegedly for him to get out of jail. So I wonder who in the hell Julie Chrisley then told on. They out here trying to fuck with people's amendments with the pro se and the pro pers and shit. Because they're trying to, because they don't want you to utilize your Sixth Amendment to basically be your own and represent yourself, to be your own fucking attorney. That some of these motherfuckers are trying to override you and make you get an attorney. You don't want to get the officers of the court because these attorneys are horrible and they will sit up and fuck up your whole goddamn case. Did y'all hear about that woman, Ella Gorla, G-O-R-L-A? She used to work for Estee Lauder. She was something like a director, and she was a whistleblower. Did you see how they kidnapped her and put her in a psych ward? Is that what we doing now? We just talking. Anyway, there's a little energies. 2-hour video, but little energies. Anyway. This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.